Everybody, my name is Lewis Lee from All Ends Media, and I'd like to welcome everybody in the chat room, and we are live on YouTube. So if anybody's on YouTube watching, please like, share, and hit the little bell so you can get notified when we do things. Oh, there we go.
Hey, there we go.
Okay, Mark. This is Mark. Mark, go ahead and tell them who you are and what you do.
My name is Marc Methot, and I'm the CEO and publisher of Cartoons Magazine.
Cartoons Magazine. Yeah. Now, you're not the original Cartoons Magazine from way back, right?
No, actually, going in the history, the original creator of Cartoon was Pete Millar and Cara Kohler, and they published it for about a year or possibly two, and then Peterson Publishing bought Cartoons and made it into a full bi-monthly magazine. And they ran it from 59 up until 1991. And then they stopped publishing, and nobody knows the real reason why. I'd like to know. And about 5 years ago, I came across a trademark, and it was abandoned for 4 months. So I applied for it, and with success and going through all the ropes to get it, I got it. And then the next step was learning publishing and getting into the publishing industry and bringing it back to print. And that's what I did. So,
yeah, that's exciting, man. I was happy to meet you at SEMA last year, and I got one of your magazines somewhere.
Yeah, that would have been issue 23.
23, yep.
Yeah. Right now we're working on 28. So
nice.
Deadlines are coming really fast. So I've been giving her every day, trying to get her all ready, because with publishing, it's a lot different. When you have deadlines, you have to meet those deadlines. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So like I could be super sick, and I'm still got to work and get things done. So it's tough, but 5 years later, we haven't missed a deadline yet, and we're still going. So yeah.
Nice. Now, how many people you have working with you, like on graphics and things like that?
Well, besides my artists doing all the comic strip stories and that, everything else that has to do with this magazine is 100% me. So I deal with all the orders online, the packaging, the shipping. I deal with the ads on all social media. I create them, deal with all social media pages, customer service. I deal with the editing, all the editing in the magazine, and creating the ads for the magazine and all that stuff. So.
Right. I know exactly where you're coming from, because I'm the man with the hats too over here.
Yeah, it's a full-time job. I'm not gonna lie. So.
Oh yes. This is Ray, and he's from Motormouth Radio, and he's syndicated worldwide. He's like famous everywhere. So
in this basement.
So what we do is we everybody comes on this show. We lead them over to his show, his radio show that he does every Sunday. So you'll be a proud guest over there too.
We're very lean that way. How you doing, Mark? It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Boy, cartoons. Did I miss the part where you said how long you've been at the magazine?
We're on our 5th year of doing cartoons. So.
Oh, that's right. It kind of what was it? What's the quick history? Because I know there is something that happened there. I got an issue here from 1975. So.
Oh yeah, there's a classic right there.
Grew up reading it, but it went in like hibernation, and you guys brought it back. Is that what happened?
Yeah, it ran from 59 to 91, so 30 years is a long time for a publication. Yeah. And then it stopped print until today. I still don't know why they stopped printing it, and they never did nothing with it. And about 5 years ago, I noticed the trademark was abandoned for 4 months. So I applied for it and got the trademark. Once it was in my name, then I had to do something with it. And it was learning the whole publishing industry and how it all works. And there was a lot of research and learning and help from those who are in the industry. So
right.
5 years later, I must be doing something right, because we're still publishing. So
absolutely. Is there any of the history of the company still involved, or is it a total new page turn?
It's all new. It's all me and the artists. So I got 20 artists worldwide. Then they do all the stories, the comic strips, and that, and everything else is me. So
right, good, great,
yeah.
So when you seen the name, what what was your thoughts? Like, you just like, I think I'm gonna buy that.
Well, actually, honestly, the whole story is when I found it was like a trademark broker website, and I was just surfing through it and checking out old school trademarks, and there was one I came across, and it was Mask. I don't know if you remember the toys from the '80s, Mask.
Hmm.
They were model size cars, and they transformed into military type vehicles. They came with little figures that wore masks. They even had a cartoon series of it. That's how big it was in the
I
'80s.
kind of do remember that.
So when I came across that, it was abandoned in '86. So I'm like, well, hey, maybe if I file for that and then you know, make up a proposal and present it to toy companies, because nostalgic toys is hot today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I filed for it, and a week later, they sent me an email and said I was 4 days too late, and Hasbro filed for it,
Oh,
which I heard they're making a motion picture movie on it right now. So I asked them, I said, well, what happens with my money? And they said, well, it's not refundable, but you get full credit. So if you want to find another trademark and invest in that. So I really thought old school, and I was starting to search really old stuff, and cartoons was one of them. And that's when I noticed that was abandoned, and used and filed for that and got it. So,
nice.
yeah.
That's great. Wow.
So Ray, what's up with the background? You changed up on us.
That's that's a flag that I got from Matco Man Brian. It's actually a Matco Tools flag. Is a
Did he give you endorsement on that?
put it this way. No,
Hey
but
Brian, I know Brian's in the chat room. Did you give him a couple of dollars?
no, but he takes care of me when I buy tools, so that's okay. We had it hanging at the shop, and then you got to excuse me if I'm talking too loud. I just got out of the pool, and I think I'm a little waterlogged. I had to take a chlorine bath. But yeah, they the one fellow that works the shop got some of the windows open, too open, and the flag was in the way. So he took it down, and we were going to rehang it in a different spot. And I said, hey, you know what? I got a spot for it for right now. Change the background a little. So
Yep.
we'll represent, yeah. And they
So
sell
Marc,
this pattern on hats, T-shirts. I think I have a mug that has it on it. They got a bunch of stuff like that.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's a cool flag. I like it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That is good.
So Marc, what's in the future for your magazine, or are you looking to do any other things in the industry?
Well, right now I'm focusing on the magazine. I'm bringing in what they never did before, was like celebrity guests, celebrities that are in the automotive industry that we know. And so I've been doing that a lot, and trying to focus on everything. Like cartoons isn't dedicated to one car culture. I want to have a multitude of everything and keep it all mixed up all the time. I'd like to go beyond the magazine at some point and start branding the trademark, because it's such a recognizable trademark worldwide, because everybody remembers it from years ago. And that's one thing they never did back then, was brand it. Like, you can never go to a store and buy shirts or even toys, and stuff like that. So I want to brand out to that. And then another thing that I got on the back burner is I'm hoping we start soon, but everything got put on hold because of the pandemic, is we're going to put together a cartoons animated movie proposal. So, and that'd be nice to land a gig like that.
Yeah, sure would.
Yeah, I know back in the day, I grew up reading that magazine, and if, just the graphic and the way it was represented, I would have definitely bought a T-shirt or a jacket or something that was branded like that, because it kind of became iconic among the car guys. That was in every shop, and guys had them in the back seat of their car. You had to move the case of the Bud, you'd find a cartoons magazine. All sorts of crazy stuff. So, yeah, great. Well, let's take a 21st century approach to an older issue. That's good.
Definitely. And you would be surprised. 99% of the people I talk to, cartoons inspired who they are today in the automotive industry, whether it's just for the love of cars, or an animator or an illustrator in the car industry. Like, so I get all these stories, and that's what motivates me to keep going. So, because I want to create new memories for everybody today. So,
right. So when you were talking about celebrity guests, are you talking about like features in the magazine, like a cartoon written around them?
yeah, like
That's cool.
what we're working on right now is issue 28. Deadlines are coming up really fast, so I've been giving her every day. But I've been working with Mike Joy, which is the voice of NASCAR. Like if you watch NASCAR, you're listening to Mike Joy commentate the entire race, and also John Snyder. So I got both of them in the magazine, and the reason with Mike Joy is he's also a big part of it's called the SCCA Historic Trans Am Racing Series, where these guys take replica race cars, well, even some of them are restored, of late 60s, early 70s muscle cars, and they race them in a circuit in a series, which like Cudas and Trans Mustangs, everything, yeah.
Cougars,
so,
yeah.
Mike Joy is a big part of that, so that's how I got hooked up with him. So this issue's themed more towards that series, and then we put through a little mixture of Dukes of Hazzard in there and Smokey and the Bandit. So
great,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and then previous stuff like we had the Martin brothers in there.
Oh, great.
We had Richard Rollins and Russell from Gas Monkey Garage. All those guys were in there.
Okay.
The Street Outlaw guys. So we want to focus on everything that's automotive related, right? So including the TV shows.
Right. No, you got a good foothold already. I'm thinking like, Jesse James, Chip Foose, Danny Coker. I mean, the sky's you just keep going.
Definitely.
Just go
down. Unlimited.
Louis Lee, he'd be great in a cartoon.
Actually, right now I'm working with Bogey on. I want to do an issue focused on the ladies of the automotive industry, from mechanics to racing to everything. So,
yeah.
You know who would be good on there is Joe Coddington.
Yes,
Boyd Coddington's wife.
Yeah, I never got a chance to meet her yet. Every time I met Seema, everybody talks about her, and I haven't seen her around. But one day,
yeah, I'll introduce you. I'll text and introduce you. That'd be a good article for you.
Yeah, that would be definitely great. So
yeah, she's really good people. Oh, you know who else is Cammie Edelbrock?
Yeah,
I'll send you an invite with her too.
I'd like to do some old school too, like Shirley Mondowney and stuff like that, right? So
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. There's a lot of possibility. Oh,
definitely, and that's why I love that creativity's there. So you just, you know what I mean. So I know one thing I can guarantee with cartoons is you will not see politics in it, and that's just something I steer away from. And leave it at that. It's car stuff and car stuff only.
I was thinking too, even companies like, Offenhauser and Edelbrock, Holly, ones that are still around, where a lot of the old school people are still there that have the history. So I don't know, just spin out.
One thing that is unique with cartoons, like you got to have advertising. Our advertising keeps the magazines alive, but I have very little advertising in it, and I want to keep it that way. Because the last thing I want somebody to do is to buy a cartoons magazine, and 50% of the content is ads.
Yeah.
But with the little ads in it, I have advertising options that if a company wants to advertise in cartoons, I have an option where, say if they do a full page on the back inside cover or the back cover, which is one of our more expensive ad spots. But what we would do is in the following issue, we would take their company and do a company/product placement in the comic strips. So now their company becomes the entertainment to the readers.
Oh, nice.
Great. That's cool.
That's a good selling point there.
Something different for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
This is Mr. Nelson that joined us. Nelson, you got any questions?
No, man. I mean, I love the book. Together. I mean, it's a great package, man. You know, I've been talking to him a couple of times. I, you know, met him at SEMA and stuff. So, you know, we're wanting to do things, and you know, it's just taking us a bit to kind of get our grip on all the stuff we're going directions.
Hey Nelson, you got an echo. Can you move closer to the mic? I think
Is that any better?
a little bit.
Yeah, I'm
Still
actually
A
echoing
little
there.
muffled.
like a fuzzy connection that's under a pillow. Yeah.
Let me turn my speaker down. Is that better? No. Let's see. Let me go up and down with the volume. Maybe it's just the connection.
Maybe try
Yeah.
unplugging your headphones.
I'm on my cell phone.
Oh, all right.
Generally don't have that problem, but sorry about that.
Just reading comments here.
Yeah. Anybody got any questions? Shoot them in the comments. I'm gonna jump over to YouTube and see if there's any questions over there.
Okay.
We got in the comments. Anything good? Who's chiming in tonight?
Is Cartoons a print mag? Yes, we do print. We're across the United States and Canada and most major retail stores like Walmart and Barnes and Noble as soon as they open up, which they're supposed to be opening up all across the U.S. soon. And but we also have digital, so if somebody's not into print, they can subscribe for a digital subscription for 1 year or so.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. Now, what is one of your favorite issues that you've published?
I don't have a favorite, but I kind of love them all.
Yeah.
I have to say my very first one, when I got the trademark and I went on social media, letting people know that I'm bringing it back to print. Nobody believed me that I owned it. They thought I was just some scammer kid online, and so I started a GoFundMe page to try and raise the money to get it going, and that didn't go as well either. For the same reason, people were skeptical and they didn't want to be scammed.
Mhm.
So I did raise enough money to not go in full print to start distribution. I was able to do so many. I think I printed off 2,500 copies, and just to show people that I was serious, right? Because I was already working with the artists like George Trosley and Fred Boatman and that, and so once I got it to print and showed everybody, everybody's tune changed, and then with the website, then the subscriptions started coming in, and then the next following issue we focused on as issue 1, because the first one I just turned it into issue 0. I called it the trial issue, and it's very limited, and so we kicked it off with the next one, issue 1, and that's the one that hit the newsstands and everything, and we've been going ever since. So
Nice.
What's the cover price of the magazine?
the cover price is $6.99.
Okay.
So very reasonable price.
A little different than April 75. Can you?
Yeah, 50 cents.
Yeah. But if you go to the newsstand and you look at a lot of magazines, I'm fairly cheap in price for a magazine.
Oh, yeah. And that's
Can you,
yeah, and now with like the Source Interleague and a lot of those the media conglomerations going under, magazines. I had 3 subscriptions go belly up on me this past year. It's getting to be rarer than hen's teeth. So,
well, like I was saying earlier, cartoons is in its different genre of magazine, because I don't even classify it as a magazine. I'd call it a comic book. It's a comic book for the automotive enthusiast, and somebody who's into cartoons wants to collect it. They want to have a print copy. They even have a lot of people finding out today it's back. They'll go on my website and buy up every back issue so they're caught up to date. And that's unheard of. Because if you went and subscribed to just a normal magazine, you're not going buying every back issue.
No.
You're just going to start where it starts, and where at the current time, right? So, yeah, I think it's a little different, even though the rumors say that the magazine market is dying. I don't think cartoons is in that category. And according with this pandemic, like they've been showing that the sales of magazines have actually increased because of it. So maybe that'll help, and people are starting to get back into more of having it in hand, print copies than actual digital. So
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So you can actually individually pick an issue then, all the way through.
Yep. Let's see. Anybody have any questions? Let's see what's going on.
Where do you have the magazine printed? How is that? Is that local or is it?
No, I'm in Canada. I'm in central Canada in Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Okay.
I'm a border town, so I'm 45 minutes north of the Minnesota border. So that's the best way to describe exactly where I am. And the magazine is printed in the U.S. and distributed out of the U.S. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Good. Because I know I was involved with a local guy who did a magazine years ago, and it was a full color, glossy paper, phenomenal. And I said to him, "How the hell do you put out a mag?" And it's a free publication. He puts them out all the auto parts stores, and he has advertisers, so he gets advertising money. But he says the print process had gotten very cheap at that time, and I think his was done offshore. It was done out of the country somewhere. They just crank them out.
Yeah.
But I still couldn't wrap my head around how it could be so affordable. I don't know. But
I like to keep it American made. So
good.
even
Yeah, I'm all for that. Definitely all for that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So when is the published dates? When do they come out during the month?
Well, that's good.
Well, cartoons is bi-monthly, so you get it every 2 months. You get 6 issues a year in your annual subscription. And this one that we're working on, issue 28, that's scheduled to be released. When is that? Early August. So,
Okay.
so the deadlines come up, and soon to go to print, and then the whole process, and the magazines get shipped to all the wholesalers, and then the wholesalers send them to all the stores. So it takes about a month before they hit the newsstand. And but in between that time, subscribers will get their magazines before they hit the newsstand, depending if the shipping is doing their job on delivering the magazines when they're supposed to get there.
Oh, yeah, that's if, right?
Because I deal with that all the time, and it's just like all I could do is ask my customers to be patient, because I don't know the reasons of why it's being delayed in transit. You know what I mean? So
Right. So obviously the artists draw, but who writes the material? You have different writers?
So far, I've been extremely lucky, and my artists write their own stories.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes an artist will reach out to me and let me know that, I got writer's block. Can you give me an idea? So I'd come up and think of something and give it to them, and then they would roll with it. But most of the time, they're creating their own stories. But then sometimes too, like they're supposed to send me a rough of the comic strips, because I want to make sure it's still family friendly, that there's nothing in prerogative in there.
Right.
And sometimes I'll read the story and I'll say, can we add this in there to, spruce it up a bit in that? So they're pretty good, and we work well with each other for the last 5 years. So
that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
My man Keith just jumped in. He's a local artist. He's local here with me. And Keith, you got any questions for him?
No, I was just amazed the story, the way you found that trademark and everything, and fired that back up. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That was neat how you did that.
Yeah, I definitely lucked out because I actually worked at a local plant working on subway cars and bi-level cars, and I did that for 7 years. And then I injured my neck at work, where I blew a disc in my neck.
Oh, wow.
So I was off work on short-term disability until I could, seeing the doctors and MRIs and figuring everything out. And in the meantime, I was on the internet a lot more because I wasn't working, and that's where I came across that website that had cartoons. So
That's very cool. Now, the other question I got for you, the artists, do you give them a storyline to do, or do they just come up with one and turn into work? Or
well, they come up with the stories themselves. I'll just I'll give them a nudge and say, okay, so this issue, I want to focus a little more on, mini trucking
Gotcha.
and vans and stuff like that, and go with that. And nine times out of 10, they're coming up with their own stories and everything, and it's turned out great. So
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, the work in those. I have the one issue with the Martin Brothers,
yeah,
and the one I got, it's all autographed by all the guys from Martin Brothers. So
Nice.
it was. I think, matter of fact, I think I got it off their site.
yeah, they've been amazing supporters since I met them. I met them at SEMA, I'm going to say 3 years ago. Yeah, I'd say 3 years ago, because then we hooked up. I went to Austin, Texas 2 years ago for the Lone Star Roundup.
Okay.
And I set up a vendor there, cartoons, right with the Martin Brothers. So we hung out and everything. And then the camera crew came in, and we all did filming together. And I ended up being on one of their episodes. Was a wild experience for me. So yeah, they've been amazing. And yeah, I couldn't thank them enough for all the support they've been given. So
Yeah, they seem really cool. I've been talking to Shag back and forth now and then, and they're really cool people.
oh yeah, Shag's a great guy, really great guy. Just makes me wonder if all Texans are very polite and humble.
Pretty much.
Yeah, all the ones I know are pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Well, see, I think they have to be because everybody carries a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It becomes second nature to be nice.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you too, the shop where I work, the other shop that painted my car, the body shop, the painter is, I don't know if he's from Mexico.
Shorty?
No, he's here in New York. He's definitely Spanish, but they call him Short Dog.
Yeah, Shorty.
Yeah, they call him Short Dog, even though he's, that's a character on TV. But so that show now is getting a life of its own, where people are even calling their own workers by the names of the characters. I thought that was, I whipped my head around and said, what? Pretty funny.
Yeah, Shorty's a good dude.
Oh, Shorty's a great guy.
He's a heck of a painter, man.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a funny story because I wanted to create some new characters. I wanted to bring more diversity into cartoons. And one of the characters I wanted a Mexican character. And I wanted to come up with a unique name that relates to the car culture. So I reached out to Shorty and I was talking with him, and he came up with the name Bajito. So I'm like, well, what does Bajito means? And he said it means Lolo in Spanish. So I went and I Googled it, and Google said it meant something completely different. And I'm like, Shorty, man, I'm like, I just Googled it, and it means this. And Shorty's like, are you going to believe Google or a Mexican?
That's right.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So he showed me and proved it that actually Lowrider Magazine puts on a huge lowrider show called Bajito. So I ended up creating this new character that's in cartoons, and his name's Bajito. Thanks to Shorty. Thanks, Shorty.
Is it Baquito? Is that how you spell it?
What's that?
Baquito?
No, Bajito.
J. The J sound. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Very cool.
Hey.
So, if new artists want to send you stuff, how do you pick, an artist that's going to be on your team?
Well, right now for new artists, I'm not right there in the budget that I need to be to bring in new artists. But I do have pages like the old school cartoons that readers that are artists. And if they email me their artwork, I could publish it in those pages. I call it My Art Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
So they would get a copy and they would see their artwork published in cartoons. So
Nice.
yeah, back then they called it My Wheels in the classic.
Right.
Very cool.
Yeah. But as for new comic strip artists, which I do get a lot of emails of people asking, they showed me their artwork. They're amazing artists, and they said, I want to be a part of cartoons. And I would ask them, I said, have you done comic strips? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, that's kind of more what we'd be looking for when we're ready to hire, is we want the entertainment more, because it's a lot of people can draw, but a lot of people can't tell stories and write comic strips. That's a whole different thing, right? So
plus working that time frame that you got to get that thing cranked out.
Oh yeah, time frame for sure. 2 months isn't bad. Like,
Yeah.
I'd say to do this monthly would be impossible. Like, it probably can be possible, but I would have to break up the artists and have a group of artists do one issue and a group of artists do the other. Because otherwise, it would just be, it's too much, way too much. Right now, as it is, every 2 months, it just seems it comes way too fast, these deadlines.
Yeah, I did some writing for some magazines through the years, and it always creeps up on you. You know, it's like, even if you have, sometimes the articles just flow from your head through your fingers. It's like the best. It's a great feeling. But then you go back, and I always edit like almost every day. You reread it, and you can always change something and touch it up. And then sometimes there's just something you're missing, and before you know it, that deadline is knocking on the door, and you're like, oh no, not again.
Well,
I think knowing it's there is what does it. You know.
I'm sure the hardcore fans of cartoons that has read every issue up to date has found those flaws that pass by me, and then I would get it in print, and I'd be like, "There's a mistake right there," and we're like, "What can you do? You can't go back." Right? So I just try and make sure that those mistakes don't slide by me next time. But,
right.
So, but we're only human, right?
Sure, that's it.
Yeah, so far.
But then it's also cartoons, so if there's mistakes in there, that's what makes it even better. It's cartoons.
I'm just thinking, Louis, Tommy Christmas would make a great cartoon character, and with his boys. You know?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Actually, another thing we're doing that's never been done in the old cartoons. We started this in issue 20, so 8 issues ago. That every issue I do an artist spotlight. Right now, we're working on the original artists of cartoons. And so I have somebody working for me. His name's Chet, or I can't remember how to pronounce his name. And so he'll reach out to the artists and with some research, ask them proper questions. And then we put it together. So now when you read cartoons, you could actually learn about these artists and, what they've been up to all these years and their interests and everything. And the latest issue right now, 28, we're working on, we did an interview with Robert Williams. So, and if people aren't familiar with Robert Williams, he's a legendary artist with paintings and stuff like that. So he's done a lot of the famous posters from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're working on right now, and then we'll be on to the next issue once print is all done. Once printed and the deadlines are done and that's all gone, then on to the next issue for the next 2 months.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Here's a good question. By doing the magazine, have you became a car person? Do you have your own custom car or project?
Like a real car?
Yes.
I got a 1950 Plymouth that's chopped, shaved, bagged. It's all satin black with the white walls. I'm a pre-50s guy. Like, I love 50s and older cars because I love curves.
Yeah,
I like my cars like I like my women, right? So.
There you go.
Solid and old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what an experience though with a bagged car. Like, this was my first, and just to hit a switch and bring up the front end and drop the SN and scrape it, and it's a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
I have a lot of other projects too, but those I'm starting to liquidate because in reality, I just do not have time to be working on any of these vehicles. So,
right. How are the roads where you are?
The roads are bad where I am.
Yeah.
Really bad. Like, really bad.
Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio's rough, man.
Ohio's bad, man.
As soon as you hit the state line, the roads get nice.
Yeah.
You need to check out suspension. You bring it to Ohio, drive it around, and work it out.
Last year I was in Florida, and the roads there are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing there. And then we come back here and it's like dodging every pothole.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm working towards an airbag car too. I was going to go with hydraulics, but they're just, I don't know, they're just messy, loud, noisy,
I heard they're really high maintenance too. So
Yeah, a lot of seals and
yeah. And then with
hoses.
the bags, it rides like a Cadillac, right? Nice and
Mhm.
smooth. And I love it. And just to pull up and just air it right out to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've been doing a lot of research. The air systems are becoming really responsive and fast, and they're building some stuff now that you can almost do everything hydraulics to do.
Yeah, you can even do it over your phone now. Like it's just technology is just getting crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Keith, I see you got something there on the wall that we talked
Yeah,
about a couple weeks ago.
yeah, we were talking about that a couple weeks ago, and it's done. It's going to go to Chip Foose, and I don't know. Let me spin it around here.
Nice.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's all done with the pinstripes.
So that's him and his dad.
Yeah,
Nice.
Get it a little closer so they can see the pinstripes.
yeah, you can see
Yeah.
it's all lined.
Oh yeah, that's even more amazing.
That's why.
Chip is
Yeah.
such a humble person.
Yeah,
You'll
sure
totally
is.
love that.
You might have said this when you were on the show, Keith, but what made you decide to do art like that with pinstripes? I mean, I've seen pinstripes.
I don't. People ask me that all the time, and I don't know what made me decide to try to do someone's face with it.
Okay.
The very first one I did was so childish, I guess you could say. It looked like a grade school, a second grader did it. And I gave that to Ryan Evans, and he thought that was the coolest thing. Well, then I used the same exact picture with the one I just gave him here. Oh, he got it a few months ago, and it's totally night and day. And he was blown away by it, and he was very, very thankful, and he was very impressed, and that meant a lot to me because of
Right.
his work. I mean, he's amazing, but I'm just like I said, I'm just trying to get my name out there and sending them the car guys that know what pinstriping is
Right.
and how to draw a straight line. Well, I'm not doing straight lines, but it's fun. I just one went out yesterday to Jay Leno, so he should be getting that Saturday. See what happens.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I like I said, I enjoy it. I've been doing car people and just about anybody.
Animals.
I get a bunch of requests to do pets,
Wait a minute.
memorial pieces for pets, for dogs and cats. And
Have you trademarked that style of art? I mean, can you even do that?
you cannot do that. The only thing I could trademark is the name. And people says it looks like a fingerprint, so I call them face prints.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
but yeah, I looked into trademarking the actual process.
Yeah.
And there's not much you can really do. I mean, just like an oil painting or anything else.
Yeah.
Someone could paint like a Picasso and use the same style as painting, and
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that'd be kind of hard because if you could patent it, none of us artists would be able to draw anything because everybody owns the patents for all the types of art.
because
right?
someone else has already done something like that. So
Yeah.
Here's my killer cat.
Nice.
Oh, there he is, Winston.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all pinstripes too.
Yeah.
Let me get a little closer.
Yeah. Look at that. That's cool.
I love it because it's different. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
from a distance they look like a traditional portrait.
Yeah.
And that's what I was shooting for. I wanted people to see it from afar, and then when they walk up to it and they're like,
Wait a minute.
wow, that's pinstripe. So far
I
so
would-
good. It's working.
I would show you the real cat, but I don't know where he's at. Yeah, great work, man. We love it.
Thank you. I enjoy doing it.
That's cool.
Okay, let's see what's going on in the chat room. Anybody?
people saying?
Oh, that's you, Keith.
Yeah.
I was playing in your sandbox today, Lewis. I was knee deep in a Weber carburetor this evening.
All right.
Yeah, they're different animals, man. I've been all my life. I've been doing Rochesters, Edelbrocks, Carters, Hollies, and
How
not
how
too.
was it?
Yeah, I was just playing with one of my own car, and it's different for the way you have to do the adjustments and all. It's very interesting.
My buddy has mine. I still need to have it done, but I need to make a manifold for the motorcycle so I can put it on. So that's kind of slowing me up. But I've been looking at turbos. Shh.
Yeah. Okay.
Tracy.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna tell her it's an alternator.
Yeah.
Air
It's a hand
conditioner.
dryer. Yeah. So you use like it's a blow through style on the bike. It's a blow through
Yeah.
type
Yep.
turbo. Yeah. Yeah. Then you need like an IDF or a DOCE or something. You're gonna need something. You're gonna need a bigger mixer.
Yeah.
And they're easier to get, believe it or not, than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Because they were everywhere. Everybody used them.
I remember I was in my 20s, and I bought an 86 Mazda 626. It was a two-door turbo,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew nothing about turbos, and I bought it. It was a beautiful car. For 86, it had adjustable struts on it, factory. The air vents on the dash were electronic and went back and forth.
Oh, yeah. I kind of remember that. Yeah.
Power sunroof, everything. It was a beautiful car, and they were rare because most of them they made were two doors. And when you'd hammer on it, it was all hydraulic clutch. When you'd hammer on it, there would be a little turbo animation on the dash.
I remember that. Yeah.
But I didn't know with turbos, you got to frequently change the oil all the time.
Oh yeah.
And I blew the motor, and that was it for that. So
Yeah.
I had to learn the hard way.
Yeah, you gotta keep the oil clean, man. You gotta, and you can't really get on it too when it's cold. You gotta let it warm up. Yep. I had a Merkur XR4 Ti.
Nice. That's another nice car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are cool cars.
They were ugly, man, but man, they were pretty quick. I used to beat up on Camaros and Trans Ams all the time.
Nice.
There's a guy down the street from me that has one still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The blue one.
Yeah, right there on Mahoning.
Yep.
Right there in the corner there. Yeah.
I'd stop. I'd like to buy another one, man, but that dude's crazy. He wants like way too much money for that car.
And you fit in that car?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You'd be surprised what I fit in.
I am surprised. Yeah.
No, he didn't say he took out the front seat and sat.
Yeah.
Back.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I love that car, man. That car was like really fun to drive.
Wow. That's cool.
The only thing I can't drive is a Miata. I went to repo a Miata way back, and I had the keys for it. I'm like, oh man, just drop me off. I'm gonna run up the driveway. I'm gonna repo this car, right? So I jump in it, and I start backing up, and I shut the door. Well, I couldn't turn the steering wheel because my leg was stuck in between the door and the steering wheel, right?
Wow.
So I had to open the door, and I backed out, and then I had to drop the roof down so I could stick my head up. So I didn't drive that too far. I had to switch out with my buddy. I was like, here, man, you got to drive this thing. It's too small.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny.
It was funny.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't fit well in my Fiat either.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Hey, who's that sexy lady? That was the chief and high commander that came through.
Nice. Very nice.
So, any car shows are going on up there in Canada? You got anything going on?
No, we are still shut down, and we're very slowly opening up just to see how things are happening. So,
yeah, this whole thing is a mess.
We're going through the same boat as you for the pandemic part of it, anyways.
Yeah,
we're in phase 3 over here. Finally, thank God.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy when 2020 is over and we'll start fresh 2021 and hopefully no surprises.
Well, yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
there'll be no second wave. That's what their fear is, that once everybody goes back inside when it's cold, that's when the second wave, they fear that would hit. So it's
Yeah.
yet to be seen, you know?
Well, from last weekend, I missed out. I've been going to. You ever gone to Back to the 50s in
Yeah.
St. Paul, Minnesota?
Hmm.
And that's one of the biggest shows I've ever been to. And I've been vendoring there since I started. And last weekend I was supposed to be there, and that was all canceled, just like every other show. So it's
Yeah.
kind of disappointing not to be able to go. I don't know if have you guys and the other guys been there?
Yeah, I've been there.
I have.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
No?
a nice show.
Let's put it this way: it's at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. It's all cars are pre-64, and every year they get 12,000 cars there.
Wow.
That's how
Yeah,
big.
it's a monster.
Yeah, definitely worth going to. And then like Dave Kimdig and Kev Dog, they came the first time. I think it was 3 years ago, and they were like, "Why did we not ever hear this show?"
Yeah.
And he's been coming back ever since, except for this year, of course. But
yeah.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, it's like that East show that's done in Jersey every year. Except they started moving the years up because they realized cutting off at 64 was kind
Not a
of
lot.
like being stuck in time, so they didn't move it up. But
well,
same
they kept it 64, but years ago they allowed Mustangs, and I guess there was too many cars, so they cut the Mustangs off because they classified that as 64 and a half. And every Mustang owner that went every year was not happy about it, but
right, sure.
Yeah.
it is what it is, right?
Yeah, you got to have some kind of cutoff. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's besides SEMA, that is a massive show, and if you haven't gone next year, definitely
Make
look
it a
up where
plan.
you're going.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
SEMA's insane.
Yeah.
I still can't get over SEMA.
Yeah.
I was there with Lewis in 2018, first time, and wow, unbelievable.
I
And
seen it. Look, I seen Keith at the store. I was like, "Hey, you should come to see me with me." He was like, "Oh man, really?" I was like, "Yeah, come on, we're gonna roll." So he came.
I was just
yeah,
reading,
it was crazy.
I was just
Yeah,
reading
we made a
that.
deal in the store.
Yeah, yeah.
I was thumbing through a Superstock magazine from like 76 or 77, and they had SEMA coverage. They were talking about hundreds of people.
Yeah,
Man, hundreds.
it was great.
Yeah, I think every day after SEMA, I'd be sitting in the hotel room and my feet are just throbbing because of the amount of walking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
It's insane. And you could buy the most
I was afraid to
comfortable
sit
shoes,
down.
and it don't matter.
yeah.
There's
I
way
was
too
afraid
much
to sit
walking.
down.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
If
get
you
back
sit
up?
down, you were afraid you couldn't get back up.
Yeah.
And then, then you got all the industry parties after SEMA, so you got to go to those. I mean, that's part of the gig.
I look forward to those, but then I have to be careful so I'm not suffering the next morning at SEMA.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I did that once, and I said I'm not doing that again.
Yeah. See, I don't really drink, so
No.
I'm usually the designated driver.
Yeah, well, we behaved ourselves.
Yeah. Well, we had the wife with us,
One night I went with the other pinstripers there at the Westgate. Yeah, and that was interesting. That was fun. It was really cool meeting all these pinstripers from all over the world, basically. That I talked to on Facebook, and actually getting to meet them in person. So that was really interesting. That was fun. That was a good time.
Keith, have you ever been up to the Syracuse Nationals?
No, but I know they got that big Artie's party up there.
Artie Schilling, yeah, good friend,
Yes.
does all these parties.
Yes.
And that's cool just to watch it because he sets up 4x8 sheets of sheetrock like in a V, and there'll be maybe I think 5 or 6 stations per side, and the artist will just he'll let a panel jam. You'll just draw something, and then you just move stations. So at the end of the run, there's something from everybody on every piece of artwork, and
Right.
and they all follow different themes because whoever lays down the first lines kind of sets the tone. Really cool, very cool.
Yeah, we have a thing up at the IX Center in Cleveland It's a big car show that Summit Racing puts on up there, and we have a organization called Crazy Paint, and we end up with about 60 to 80 artists, and we're there for 3 days, and we're doing panel jams and painting, and they auction everything off just like Artie's does.
Right. Right.
And year before last, I think we generated $50-some thousand in 3 days
Great.
with the auctions.
Yeah.
So it's amazing some of the stuff people see, and they start bidding, and all of a sudden, it's up to $1,500.
Yeah.
Or you see a piece that's absolutely gorgeous, and you're figuring, oh, that's a $500 piece, and it gets 50. You just don't know.
Right.
But it's really cool. They had Ryan Evans is up there, and not last year, 2 years ago, Jay Leno was up there, and he walked through, and everybody met him up there. But that's a heck of a show too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been going to SEMA for 5 years, and I haven't yet come across Jay Leno.
He's a
I
ghost.
saw him when we were there. I saw him drive by on a golf cart. That was it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a ghost, and he gets into the back doors where we can't see.
I'll meet him one day. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Well,
to talk cartoons with him. So
this painting I did for him, we'll see. I'm hoping something happens when he gets it. So see what happens.
I have a good friend that's he does a lot of work on his cars. So next time we're out in California, we're gonna go through there and take a tour.
nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to take a tour there too.
I had a friend of ours went and filmed an episode of Jay Leno's Garage years ago. So I gave him Motor Mouth Radio T-shirts. I said, "Hey, bring these. Give him to Jay." And he has these shirts embroidered, nice stuff. So he brought polos and these denim shirts. And I asked him when he got back, like, how'd it go? He goes, yeah, I asked Jay, I told him I had shirts. He goes, oh, yeah, just put them on that table over there. It was like a community table, and all the guys just grabbed shirts and started using them for rags. I was like, okay.
Community table.
Great. Yeah.
You know where else I want to take a tour is Jesse James, his metal fabricating shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
Right
Ford
there in
shop.
the
Yeah, that's what I want to go to.
13 years ago on my honeymoon, we went to check out West Coast Choppers. He wasn't there though.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shop was cool.
Yeah. He's no joke, man.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, I'd have to admit my honeymoon was pretty good because I went West Coast Choppers. I went and checked out SoCal Speed Shop. And then Jimmy Shine's like, how long are you here for? And I told him, and he's like, well, you got to go up to Bakersfield for the Hot Rod reunion.
Mm.
So I asked my wife, I said, you want to go up there? She's like, sure. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
Should have got married sooner.
Went up there and watched some nostalgic drag racing. It was awesome. It was good.
That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah, that would be. Yep.
That was the last time I was in Cali, so 13 years ago.
Did you get a chance to go to Welder Up in Vegas?
Yep. They were some big supporters too, especially Travis Dieter and Barbara Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And they were actually in one of the magazines.
Oh, good.
So,
Good.
a special guest. Yep. And if you look at Darnell's Gasser 55, right under those moon eyes, you'll see a nice cartoon sticker on both sides. So
Oh, is it?
he
Okay.
represents. So that's awesome.
Good,
That's
good.
cool.
He has a nice party, man. Right, Keith?
Yeah, that was a good time, man. We're sitting there and looking around, and just everybody started pouring in, and we're like, it was cool.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get Ray to go, but Ray kind of stuck up. He don't want to go to the
Yeah.
Yeah. Counts Customs puts on good parties too, but they didn't have one last year. So
The year before,
yeah,
man, it was. I bet you it was 3,000 people there in the parking lot.
Yeah, I enjoy those after parties. Take a break
Yeah.
from all that walking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go down to Fremont on Halloween night either.
Yeah, we ran into a rabbit hole.
Oh, really?
It's a show. It's a show, but you can't move once you get down in there.
We were shoulder to shoulder for what, 5 blocks, 6 blocks?
Oh, it was unreal.
I almost had to kill a parrot.
Wow.
We're walking through the crowd, right? And this guy puts a parrot on my wife's shoulder.
Oh,
So, I was like, okay, we'll take a picture. And so now he's asking for money. I was like, no, take this out of here. He goes, I was like, I don't carry cash. He goes, I'll take credit card. Like, you're going to lose your bird.
That sounds like
it was almost a midnight snack.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much street for you.
Yeah, cool story. About a year ago, I got an email from Warner Brothers, and they were reaching out to me about, they were filming a movie, and one of the scenes of the movie, they had a cartoons magazine from the 80s. And so they wanted to see if I could sign the release forms and let them show this in the movie. And I was like, yeah, no problem, right? So that was all done. And I asked them, I said, what the movie was, and they said, Just Mercy. And so I asked them, I said, if you guys need any more magazines, this and that. And they said, no, what we have is fine. The movie takes place in the 80s, so we can't really use any of the new content and stuff. And I tried to find out, I'm like, why cartoon? Out of all the magazines, why? Like, maybe somebody in Warner Brothers is a fan of the magazine, doesn't know it's back, trying to get those right contacts. So I thought that was pretty cool that they reached out to me in that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the movie recently and I couldn't find it. I don't know if it was just that quick shot in the background or whatever. So you know what movie I'm talking about? Just Mercy.
No.
I haven't
No,
seen
never heard that.
No, that was with Michael B. Jordan and who else is in that? Oh, Jamie Foxx is in it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Was it the one when he's a cop and they take his grandkid or his daughter or something?
No, it's about a man who was wrongfully accused of a crime and he was on death row.
Yeah.
I've seen the previews for that. That was just not too long ago, right?
Yeah. About a year ago.
Yeah, and it was based on a true story. So
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it. It's on Amazon, I think, or Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out now.
I've seen it advertised for, yeah.
Well, if
That's pretty cool.
you watch it and you notice the cartoons magazine in it, let me know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's 10 o'clock, and I have to jump, but you can stay on because these guys here do an after party, and so you're welcome to stay on. And we really appreciate you coming on. And if you have any kind of announcements or any new things you want to promote, please come on, man. Just come on anytime. You're part of the family now.
If anybody wants to check out anything to do with cartoons, just go to the website. It's cartoonsmag.com, and you can go on there. You can subscribe, print or digital. If you subscribe to print, you get digital access for free, so you get the best of both worlds. We have every back issue, so if you wanted to get caught up, those are all available. We have limited editions on there, like 3D cover ones that they come with the 3D glasses, and the cover pops out at you. We've got shirts, stickers, posters, everything. So
nice.
And we keep adding as we go. Actually, I just put in a big order for 2 new shirt designs and waiting for those to come in. So
nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, please stay in touch with us. Anything, if you're going somewhere, let us know. We might have some friends there, from here that might be in the neighborhood or.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll definitely photobomb your picture anytime.
Yeah, man. Wait, let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. I was like, who's this guy in the background? Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. I probably won't be able to find it because I'm looking for it.
Yeah, that's always the way. Been there, did it, done it.
I made 25 different 30 folders on my phone, and I still. Oh, is it in this one? Is there in that one? Is it? Oh man, because it's over.
I try to keep my phone or pictures off my phone because it just gets too crazy, and so
I tried that too.
Yeah, there I am in the background.
Oh, very good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna.
So
I got to get back to work. These deadlines are coming up fast.
Okay.
I appreciate you guys having me on. This has been awesome and great meeting all you guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah, if
you.
you need
It was
any-
an honor to talk to you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
hopefully when we all get back to normal, we'll cross paths at a future show, SEMA, whatever. So,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
yes,
I got to pay you back on the photo bomb, so I'll be looking for you.
sounds good.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, have a good one.
Good
All
night,
right, you
Mark.
too.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to watchpttv.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.